We knew there would be flooding from this storm, and Keith actually did a little storm coverage this morning in Cape Elizabeth. Keith, were cars still moving through there?
No, it was closed, and actually I had Luca with me, and he was very concerned that Daddy was walking past the closed sign.
Good boy.
To get there. Yeah. He said, "Are we allowed to be here?" I said, "Oh, Dad knows what he's doing." But yeah, that's on Shore Road there, and it's a spot that's exposed to the ocean. I haven't seen it do that though, where it just goes right over the top of it. So.
Yeah.
We had a lot of coastal flooding. We had some strong wind gusts. One positive thing, Amanda, as you can attest to, not a ton of power outages.
Yeah.
So there are some people still, but it's not as much as you think. And the last of the storm moving out of down east with wind gusts of 30 miles an hour plus. We saw some low 60s. A lot of us in the 50s for maximum wind gusts. That happened earlier this morning, kind of more like in the middle of the night over southern Maine. There's the last of the storm moving out. Again, it turned to largely rain as we anticipated. Got a little snow across northern Maine into Aroostook County, but we're ending as rain in Millinocket and Greenville. And we ended as rain in the mountains too. So they got quite a bit of snow. I'm going to show you here in a second. I did get reports from the mountains that this snow turned into about 7 or 8 inches of cement, which is actually fine for skiing. It's a good base builder to have it really heavy and wet. So 14 in Carrabassett Valley, and over at 13.5 Newry at 11 and change. And then we've got some good amounts up towards Fort Kent and Caribou, 7, 8 inches. Portland, it's funny, they reported a trace. I didn't see any snow yesterday, but maybe it happened at some point. Most of the coastline over southern coastal Maine was immediately over to rain, and Gray right in the middle there, 3.8 inches of snow. So that was pretty much what we expected. The rainfall amounts were as well. Now this storm is moving on, and we'll see a couple of rain and snow showers behind it, but you look outside in a couple of spots over southern Maine, and it's legitimately quite nice. Temperatures in the low 50s with some sunshine, so we'll see a nice afternoon. And tonight is cold, but not brutally so. We shouldn't see a whole lot of hard refreezing of snowpack. Mountains, maybe we'll see a little of that. The rest of us obliterated a lot of snow, and we'll see it just kind of refreeze a little tonight. Tomorrow's a decent day. Mixture of sun and clouds, temperatures in the mid and upper 30s. It's quiet Thursday and Friday. Those are our 2 quiet days, and then our next storm system moves in on Saturday. And we talked about this before this storm. It looks fairly similar, this Saturday storm. I would say it is 10% weaker. It's not quite as amped up, which is a good thing. However, it's coming right on the heels of this storm, which is probably not a positive. So once again, Friday night into Saturday, we start as snow, transition to rain, see some strong winds, and then it gets significantly colder on the back end of this thing for Sunday and into Monday. So what we're going to be watching for this storm, slightly different concerns, I'd say. The winds are still going to be strong, so we could see some power outages, but it seemed like we did really well out of the southeast this time, so that makes me feel a little bit better. We have to watch, though, coastal flooding, because our high tide, astronomical high tide, is a foot higher than today, and we were able to be at the number 3 highest water level in Portland. So that's a little concerning, because we're going to have a surge right about high tide here on Saturday, which is in the middle of the day. So we'll have to keep an eye on coastal flooding, and again, some scattered power outages in addition to that snow changing over to rain. We'll have all those maps for you this afternoon. For obvious reasons, we couldn't make them yet because we're still dealing with this storm. But here's what the European model thinks happens Saturday morning. Wind gusts again in excess of 50 miles an hour again out of the south and east. So another one, right? That's the only way to put it. We've got another storm for next Tuesday. That looks a little bit colder, a little bit snowier. And we can only hope for that, Amanda, because we definitely do not want 3 of these inside runners in a row like that.
No, we do not. I think most people would appreciate snow over that.
Way prettier.
All right, Keith. Thank you.